Hey guys, today I have my new graphics cards here. This is the MSI N560 GTX Ti Twin Frozen Edition. It's a 2 gig card and I have two of these. It's stock overclocked, and with the cooler that they have here, it's supposed to run at 20 degrees Celsius cooler than the reference design. Here's a quick look at the box. Comes with a 3-year warranty, ready for 3D Mark 11, MSI Afterburner for overclocking. Their military class 2 standard here, which basically just means that it's all really well built, and solid capacitors, 10-year lifetime for the capacitors, and then all of NVIDIA's symbols there, and trademarks, or not trademarks, but you know. So just a quick look at the box. If you really want to see the box, you can go look at it in the store. It has this little flap here that basically talks about the overclocking and the capacitors and how they're well built. I do like here how it says no explosion, so that's always good to know. Noise keeper, so it's small, 3D guru, blah 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 blah, and then so this is just stuff that people have said. Then on the bottom panel here we have the thermal comparison and high density heatsink. There's dual super pipes, which I'll show you, which are really unique to this, and they really help to distribute the air, or sorry, the heat rather. And dual PWM fans, which means they're more efficient and they will do a better job at what they do, and they'll be quieter. And then of course there's the nice window, which because of reflections and wonderful things like that, you can't see it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this puppy open. Alright, so I've gone ahead, I've just opened the box here, just so you don't have to see me fight with the box. This box is actually really easy to open. There isn't going to be any tape or anything. I picked these bad boys up from Tiger Direct. I was going to get them from Newegg as usual, but Newegg kind of screwed around with my credit card orders a little bit. Nothing bad happened. It just took longer than I expected. Okay, so anyway, here we have the card in this kind of little plasticky box. Go ahead and just, I don't know, turn this upside down maybe. Ooh. Whoa. Okay, so all the goodies are stored under the card. Well, that's okay. I guess we'll go through these first. So there's a 560 Ti series with how to install it. How to install it and the software it comes with and all of that good stuff. Oh yeah, both cards come with this NBA 2K11 game. I don't play these kinds of games on the computer, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway for these, and I'll just give these to you guys for free. So stick around and look for that video. Within the week I'll put the video up, and I'll just ship that to you guys for free. There's a DVI to VGA adapter. I hope you're not using VGA still. And there's a mini HDMI to standard HDMI adapter, and quick user guide, which is big. Big document here full of all kinds of writing you probably won't even read anyways, and languages you don't even understand. Here are the drivers. Oops, sorry. The drivers and the Afterburner software. So I will use this disk for the Afterburner software because I do really like that software. I've heard good things about it. I guess this is the serial number imprinted there. And then, oh, I guess we could turn this back over. Take this covering off. In the bottom here, we have a dual Molex two dual Molex to single PCI 6-pin connectors to power the graphics card. If you're using those, you probably shouldn't use this graphics card anyways because your system is, well, you probably don't have a powerful enough power supply. So I would definitely recommend checking that, upgrading that first. Okay. So, I never like to force anything. Here's the card in its anti-static bag. Actually, I know what I'll do. Put this up here. Here's this. Position that a little bit for you. Alright. Alright, so go ahead and just open this for you. Get this out of its anti-static bag. Alright. Oh, it's a beautiful card. Beauty. So we have dual, I think they're 80mm fans here. PWM controlled. Nice protectors for the for the gold fins on the card. As well as then on the back MSI has connectors, and there's also MSI custom grill here, and gold fingers protector on the gold fingers for the SLI as well. Quick look at the back of the card, not that it really matters. I mean, what I've never understood is why this is the part of the card that shows up to you versus, you know, they put all the time into designing this side with the MSI writing twin fuzzer here and you can't see it. Mind-boggling me. Although it does say twin fuzzer on the side, which looks really nice and has this nice gunmetal thing here. So what I wanted to show you were the super pipes. So these are the standard 4mm pipes here, and then these bigger ones are the 8mm super pipes, and then those go all the way around through the fins, distributed nicely, and then you can see them back in there. The 8mm on the outside, the super pipes, and these standard ones are on the inside. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring my case up here and unbox the other one, and then we'll go ahead and get these installed. Alright, welcome back, guys. Now we're going to get ready to remove the old card. Oh, well, it's not old, it's a month old. And put in the two new cards. So first what you're going to want to do is clear out any cables that may be in the way. I've done a little cable managing. If you've noticed, I rerouted the 8-pin cable. I bought an extension for that, so it's no longer in our face. You're also going to want to switch off the power at the back, so you'll see my motherboard power button will shut off there in just a moment. I'll just go ahead and remove the bridge. I just left it inside there for safekeeping. Disconnect the power from the card. And these can just kind of stay hanging there because they will be put back in eventually. So the card is now free. We'll just go ahead and unscrew any other PCI devices that may get in the way of your installation. That would be obviously take the screw out of the graphics card. And I've let the machine cool down now for a little while, so before you take that, just remove this card, which I will reinstate back in there. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but back in here, there's a little blue clip. It'll be different colors on different boards. So to release the graphics card, just kind of reach in there and just push down and then gently wobble the card out. So here is the quote-unquote old card. There's nothing wrong with this card at all. I'm just going to sell it to one of my buddies because I bought two new cards. So when you're installing SLI, your motherboard will support, you know, up to 2 graphics cards in quad SLI mode, which means each card has 2 processors on board. Some motherboards even have 4 slots for graphics cards. Mine only has 2 here, even though it looks like it has 2, but you couldn't fit a card down there even if you wanted to. So anyway, it'll be the top 2 slots. There'll be X16 slots. On my board, when I run 2 cards together, they run it X8, so half of that speed. So my first card is going to slide in the top there. Second card will go in the white one here. And then we'll put the bridge back on. So I'm just going to take the card out of its packaging. I unboxed the second card myself. I know how badly you guys wanted to see another card of the same style put back in. Anyway, so what I'm going to go do here is just take off, if your thing comes with, if your graphics card comes with protective covers, just take those off of the PCI slot and the SLI bridge. Well, you don't take the SLI bridge off right now, but I will just because I am here. You don't have to worry about the back connectors just yet. I might even leave those on until I get more monitors, just to keep dust and things out of there, which if you can tell by my fans, the dust will probably end up outside the case, as it is already doing. Okay, so what you do here is you'll slide the I/O ports out the back, and you'll just kind of line it up with that top slot, and then just push in, and it'll just kind of click in there. Alright, so the card is now installed. I just have to go ahead and screw it back in. I'm gonna go over here, make sure the card is lined up. Sometimes they don't line up exactly perfect. You just gotta use a little bit of elbow grease, but you should never have to force any pieces into the computer. Especially things like processors or RAM or things like that, because if they don't want to naturally go in, it's better not to force it and to take it to an expert. By no means do I consider myself an expert, but I mean take it to someone who's licensed to repair computers and has their A+. So if they screw it up, it doesn't come back to harm you. So I'm just making sure everything is clear here. My fan cable, I can still reroute that if I want. So this card doesn't connect to power on the side anymore, which is nice because this means it won't interfere with my fans. What it does, the power is just on the back here. So what it does mean, oops, I keep doing that today. So I just have to take my two PCIs and go back in here and just snap them in. There's one. There's two. They're just heat shrink wraps, so I was able to bend them nicely. Okay, now we'll go get the other card. So if you watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I had two cards in here already. That PNY was SLI. But I wasn't too happy with the performance. Also in that video, I kind of messed up and left VSync on, which kind of restricted the frames to 75, so that's why they all maxed out at 75. So with these 2 gig cards, unlike the previous 1 gig cards, and this one's going to go in that white spot, with these cards, sorry, I'm just going to make sure it all fits here. With these cards, as I was trying to say, we should see way better performance than we did with that card, and I will do the test again with the VSync on and VSync off so we can compare it. But the real difference here is the extra addition of another gig per card. Sorry, another gig per card. I'm just screwing in here, which will make a difference next year when I have more monitors, multiple monitors. Or if I decide to go with just one larger monitor, then the extra bit of VRAM there will definitely help. Okay, so I've gotten the card secured. I'm going to go ahead and I've already connected the other auxiliary power cords to my power supply. I'm just going to organize myself. This case is a bit of a mess for cables. I recommend if you get this case, well, it is a fun case, I recommend getting flat power cables. Anyway, so my cables come with a bit of heat shrink on the wrap. Because they were previously here and I had fans before, I had to kind of just bend that with a bit of elbow grease, so there's no way you can easily just bend that all the way. It's just the cables will remain intact. So once again, I'm just going to sneak in here. There's one. Just tuck that cable away. The real fun will be later this week. I have actually tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. If you guys are keeping track of the date, I probably won't put this up right away. So tomorrow I'm going to be installing an SSD in here as my boot drive. So that'll be really exciting. It's a Corsair 120 gig. Alright, there we go. So power for both drives is, or both graphics cards is now connected. The only thing left to do is if you have any auxiliary devices, like I have this fan card, graphics card cooler. Just want to go ahead and slot that back in there, but before I can do that, I need to take the screw that I neglected to take out before. I need to actually take that out here. I made a little mistake with the wiring over here. I didn't account for that and move that over, but I won't be bothered with it too much. Alright, and that just slots in. It doesn't actually do anything in terms of connecting with the motherboard, so it's just for a cool light show. Oh, she keeps the card scope. These cards I expect to run pretty cool anyways. Okay, so I've gotten that all secured. So now the last step is to take your SLI bridge. Doesn't matter which way you hook it up, and just connect it to the gold fingers on the graphics cards. And just slot that on like 1 and 2. This is also a good indicator if it doesn't fit, is that should span the cards approximately where the ports should be, because this came with my motherboard, that bridge, so I know that it's working if I can fit that in there. Okay, let me get this closed up and hooked up, and then we'll come back with some specs and benchmarks. Alright guys, we're back here. I'm going to go ahead and boot the system up first time with the graphics cards. So the power is on. Starting Windows. And of course we can tell that we have a new graphics card because the resolution has changed. Now I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I don't use McAfee, but my school forces me to, or I can't connect to their network. Ignore this message. This is the computer saying that Flaps isn't operating properly. Installing device drivers. I wonder what that is. That's actually probably my mouse is not functioning. Oh, and my keyboard wasn't functioning either, but don't see how that can be related to the graphics card, except for the fact that I plugged it in. I plugged the keyboard and mouse into different slots on the motherboard. I'm just kind of looking through the manual here. Device did not fully. Oh, there we go. There's the mouse. What device did not fully install? Cyborg keyboard. That's not helpful because I can't use the keyboard. Okay. Well, what's this? What's this? Close, run. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and install the drivers off of here. I know a lot of videos tell you to forget the disk and just go straight to the website, but the disk is a great place to start, I think, because you can just go here and just tap the driver that comes with your card, and go ahead and install that, and then when you do, you're good to go, and then you can go and upgrade later on, or update the driver later on. 2.8.26, and I think the newest version is 2.8.30. That's down here in the corner of the screen. Nonetheless, yeah, so it's just completely nixed the driver that I had in there before. But anyway, it's really easy to update, especially if you have Steam. Steam is really great for updating your driver because there's a button, an option menu top left that says allows you to stores all of these settings. Use any core browser. Yeah, we'll perform a clean install. I don't remember what I was talking about. Anyway. Oh yeah, Steam. Okay, so yeah, in the top left there's a menu there that says update graphic graphic drivers, and you just tap that, takes you right to any NVIDIA site, which isn't hard to get to anyways. But it's really a nice, easy tool to get there. Anyways, too bad my keyboard's not working properly. The keyboard's lit up, but it's not coming on. And this used to happen before, but hopefully after the graphics fix itself, the keyboard will fix itself, but time will tell with that. So I'll just jump ahead to when this installs. Hey guys, so it's back. It's installed now. I also plugged my keyboard into a new USB port, so the keyboard is now functioning. Anyway, it's asking me to go ahead and restart. So I will do that. I was looking through the manual actually, and there's something in here that's called the MSI Live Update. And what this does is this actually automatically detects your graphics cards, finds the update, and installs it for you all in one shot, which is a really nice tool, I think, for MSI to build in. Even easier than opening Steam, which some of you will know takes an arm and a leg sometimes, regardless of how powerful your computer is. Yeah, so we're just going to wait for this to restart here. I'm just reading about the live update because it looks like something I might want to use. Okay, we're booting back into Windows now. I don't know why it does that double bias flash thing where it flashes the Asus screen twice. If anyone has any ideas or tips for me, that'd be really great. It's only recently started doing that. But yeah, if anyone knows why it's doing that, that'd be really great, and I would really appreciate that. Alright, let's see if the resolution has changed. Oh yes, it looks like it has. Maybe. I don't remember, I wasn't looking at it last time. Yeah, I know I sound a little tired. I was doing a little cable management, and on the weekend I'm going to unplug all the cables and install this 24-pin connector for the motherboard to try and hide the cables better and make it look new. I'm going to unplug every cable and work one at a time. Oh yeah, beauty. So we are back in here, and we'll just go ahead and hit up the screen resolution first of all. 1440 by 900 is the max resolution of this monitor. Probably can't see that in this camera. Doesn't zoom in. It's just a digital picture camera. Nonetheless, head over to the NVIDIA control panel to set up the SLI if it isn't already. Download the latest drivers. Blah blah. I'm not going to do that right away because it'll just waste your time. Anyway, so in the top left here, if you can see, it should say Set SLI and PhysX Configuration. By default, it'll be turned off. So you'll just go up here and you go ahead and you'll hit Maximize 3D Performance, and it'll enable the SLI. For the PhysX settings, I'm not sure exactly what to do with this, but I mean, I usually just leave it on auto select or graphics card, the second card there. Anyway, so now you can go ahead and just hit apply, and this will enable SLI across both your cards. And if you're not sure if it's working properly, on the top left here it says 3D settings, you can go show SLI visual indicator. And what this will do, if I have a game, let's see, I don't know if it works for StarCraft 2. I know it works in Battlefield, because that was where I was doing my benchmarking, which I will have benchmarked with these cards soon. If this works, you're going to see a bar down the left side of the screen. There it is. So, oh, this is kind of gone foggy, a bit fuzzy. So you can get that to focus. Okay, so yeah, on the top left, you can see there's a green motion here, and it says SLI on the top here. That means SLI is working. Currently, with the current settings, I'm getting 62 frames per second, but I'm not going to work into all that right now. I'm going to go out of here, and I'm going to install some of the. Actually, sorry. These cards are supposed to come overclocked, so we'll go ahead and look here. So it comes at 880 megahertz, which does not appear to be overclocked. Just going to open GPU-Z and take a look as as to what's going on here. If not, it's really easy to overclock. You just change the settings here. By the way, if you're wondering how I got to this, it's under Performance, under Device Settings. And to get this device settings, just Google NVIDIA System Tools, and that's just easy to download and install. It's by NVIDIA. Okay, so we have code here. Yeah, so my card is running at 8x. 2 gigs. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's been overclocked the way it was supposed to, but I'll check the manual on that. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to update to the latest drivers, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to do some benchmarks. So I will be back in a little bit. Hey guys, we're going to do some quick benchmarking here of the two cards SLI together. I'll give you a quick look at the graphics settings, and then we'll be able to just see how it looks on different settings. Just waiting for this level to load up. My connection is going to be slower during the day as my internet is throttled by my university. But we will see how long we can go without being disconnected. This is it's a 32-player rush map, and I'm just trying to get a sense of the graphic performance in the frames per second on the different graphical levels. Oh, just pause this and bring us back when the level loads. Oh, the level has loaded. So we'll just switch over to our video settings. First we'll head down to low. On the left here we have one monitor, 1440 by 900 at 75 Hz, full screen on, brightness is at half, vertical sync is off, field of view is 70, motion blur is at the middle, color blind support is off, and then our settings are just set to low here. Just go ahead and save settings. Some people have told me that you have to jump out of the game before it applies the settings. So I was on Ultra before, so we can check that. So let's see, I'm seeing about 160 frames per second. Actually, I'm just going to turn this on. Render.draw.ps. True. Oh, it put them both on the same side. That's inconvenient. Okay. So I'm seeing about 180 frames per second here on low at points, down to 150 there. Let's just run. What am I? Defender. Okay. Alright, anyway. So that's we'll say that's 150 for low. Alright, now we'll just head over to medium. I see 120, 130. Trying to see if we can get some guns going on here. 140, 146. Wow, I didn't see that guy. Okay, I'm gonna say, for good measure, we'll say 140. I mean, you guys can see the frames better than I can. And we'll go ahead and just turn this up to high. The name of the game here is to score frames above, nope, going this way. Above 60 frames per second, because I previously stated that the human eye can't see above 30 frame, difference above 30 frames per second, and I was shown an example and proved wrong instantly. So once again, back up around well, 180. But I mean, I guess it really depends on what you're doing. And I saw 130 there, 150. It's possible that these are just the cards heating up. Okay, here comes a guy. you run out of bullets, right? Isn't that always the case? Ugh, out of bullets. Okay, so down to 120. Well, let's just say for high, it's 130. Because that's, I mean, that would make sense that it would decrease a little bit every time. And ultra, which this card should have no problem doing because they're dual 2 gig cards. So I saw 120 there for a second. Oh, here comes the lag that's gonna kick us out, or kick me out. Well, it's definitely over 100, so I didn't see it duck down below 100. I'm gonna just play it one more time. Oh, there you go, it's below 100. 90. Well, let's say we'll say it's between 110 to 130, depending on what you're doing. Okay, so that is Battlefield. On another note, from my case, I can feel I felt more heat coming out of these cards than my other two SLI cards, because rather than exhaust it out the back, these cards actually exhaust it from all sides. So, and they keep relatively cool while playing. Open up GPU-Z here. Well, the temps are still up, but I mean, they usually sit around like 50 or 60 degrees, which is pretty darn cool. So yeah, it's here. The first card's at 62, the main card, and the other card is at 49, 48 degrees. Just after playing Battlefield for about 5 minutes. So just to kind of give you an idea. Also, the cards are overclocked. What had happened was I had just read it wrong before, or well, not read it wrong, but what happened was I hadn't enabled SLI after doing the upgrade, so that affected the frames like mad. Anyway, we'll just jump ahead here into the other benchmarks.
Alright, so first up we have the Unigine Haven benchmark, and so we scored 127.9 frames per second, scores of 3,222, and 51.5 was the minimum frames per second, and we maxed out at 230.5. All of the sets are pretty standard at the bottom, as you can just read them there. And so yeah, so those are the scores we got. I'm impressed with those scores. I think they are fairly decent of these cards. And then next we jump over into 3D Mark 11, and in 3D Mark at 720p, because that's the resolution on my monitor, we got a score of P8830, which I don't know how that really compares, but I mean, just if you're curious, that's the score that I got with these cards. And you can read the other graphic physics and combined scores below if you're curious. And then finally, we jump over into the FirmArk test. So I maxed out FirmArk at 90 frames per second. The max GPU temperature was 80 degrees, which is 10 degrees cooler than the turbine cooler that I had on the other card. And minimum frames was 90, max was 92, the average 90. And so you can just kind of see the rest of the stats there. Pretty standard average stuff. This is also at 720p, as usual. Yeah. So anyway, here are the two MSI GTX560 Ti 2 gig cards in SLI mode. And thanks for checking out the video. So far, I recommend these cards. I've no complaints. I've played a few games with them. They're pretty decent. And thanks for watching.